29 men stepped in. 29 men fell. The only champion in modern MMA to walk away with a perfect record. But Khabib Nurmagomedov's story isn't about the punches he landed. It isn't about the belt. This is about a vision born in the frozen mountains of Dagestan, a father's blueprint, a son's oath, and the cost of leaving when you're still king. The world calls him the Eagle. But before he could fly, he had to learn what it meant to bleed. You want to understand the predator? Start with the terrain. Dagestan isn't Las Vegas. It's not California. It's carved by war, by scarcity. Strength there isn't optional. It's survival. In those mountains lived a man named Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov. Not just a coach, an architect, former military, sambo master. He believed discipline would strangle talent every single time. He had a plan, a project, and it started with his son. You've probably seen the footage. Grainy, shaky, 1997. A 9-year-old kid wrestling a bear cub. To the West, it looked insane, maybe cruel. To Abdulmanap, it was a test. The boy asked his father, "Don't let it bite me." His father said, "You bite it back." That was the philosophy. Fear isn't real, it's a decision. Abdulmanap wasn't raising a bully. He was removing hesitation from his son's chest. If you can wrestle something that doesn't follow rules, you'll never flinch at a man who does. Khabib grew up on yellow mats, sweating next to hundreds of other hungry kids. No AC, no sponsors, no cameras. Just the brutal grind of combat sambo. While American kids played video games, Khabib was learning how to control the human body. How to make grown men feel like they were drowning on dry land. By the time he was a young man, the blueprint was done. 2-time combat sambo world champion. Undefeated. But the mountains couldn't hold him anymore. The eagle was ready to hunt. And his eyes were on the biggest stage in the world, the UFC. When Khabib landed in the US in 2012, nobody saw a champion. They saw a kid from a place they couldn't pronounce. He didn't speak English. He wore a strange wool hat people thought was a wig. To the flashy, trash-talking world of the UFC, he was weird. Then the cage locked, and the jokes died. Instantly. Khabib didn't just fight, he drowned people. He brought a level of grappling the UFC had never seen. It wasn't wrestling, it was suffocation. Against Abel Trujillo, he set a record. 21 takedowns in one fight. He wasn't trying to win rounds, he was trying to break spirits. But nothing's clean. Just as he was rising, his body failed. Ribs, knees, surgeries. 2 years of silence. MMA moves fast. They forgot about him. Critics said he was fragile, that the hype was over. But in the shadows, he was rebuilding. He came back in New York, UFC 205, and this is where the legend really started. Fighting Michael Johnson, Khabib did something terrifying. While beating his face in, he was talking to him, calmly. "You have to give up. I need to fight for title, you know this. I deserve this." He wasn't angry. He was working. Between rounds, he told Dana White, "Don't send me bullshit contracts. I'm gonna smash your boy." He walked through Edson Barboza like a machine. Took the best kicks in the division and didn't blink. This wasn't competition anymore. It was public execution. The broken English became iconic.
You know, not only smash, like change his face. You know, I want to change his face.
I want to change his face. I want to smash him. The world was finally watching. The Eagle had cleared the division. Only one name left, the King of the West. It was inevitable. 2 worlds colliding. On one side, the glitter of the West, Conor McGregor, the showman, the master of mind games who turned fighting into theater. On the other side, the Iron of the East, Khabib, the soldier who treated fighting like sacred duty. This wasn't just a title fight, it was a philosophical war. April 2018, Brooklyn. The rivalry turned ugly. McGregor attacked the bus Khabib was in, shattered the glass, injured fighters inside. For McGregor, this was chaos, a way to sell the fight, a way to build hype. For Khabib, it was a violation. In the mountains, you don't ambush a man on a bus. You don't involve families. Some lines don't get crossed. McGregor thought he was intimidating him. He didn't realize he'd just woken something up. The psychological warfare was brutal. McGregor attacked his father, his religion, his country. The same weapon that destroyed Jose Aldo and Eddie Alvarez, his mouth. He tried to make Khabib emotional, tried to make him crack so he'd make mistakes. But Khabib didn't break. He sat there, cold as stone, absorbing every insult like fuel. One response, send me location.
You.
October 6th, 2018. The cage locked. The talking stopped. The fight wasn't a contest. It was punishment. Khabib dominated every second. He dropped the best striker in the sport with a right hand. And while mauling him on the ground, he wasn't just fighting, he was teaching.
Good entry by Nurmagomedov. McGregor trying to use the fence to his advantage.
He does such a good job of using his legs.
When McGregor tapped, it didn't end. The Eagle didn't want a tap. He wanted a soul. The rage was too deep for a referee's stoppage. In one raw, violent moment, Khabib flew out of the cage. Chaos. Ugly. Real. The boy who wrestled bears had devoured the king. The invasion was complete. Khabib was on top of the world, undefeated, undisputed. But fate doesn't care about your record. In 2020, the world stopped. A pandemic swept the globe, reached the mountains of Dagestan. Abdulmanap, the architect, the father, the voice, fell ill. July 3rd, 2020. The heart of the machine stopped. Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov died. For Khabib, this wasn't losing a coach. It was losing his compass. Without the architect, what happens to the project? The world expected him to retire, or crumble. But there was one last piece of business. His mother begged him not to fight without his father. She pleaded. But Khabib made a promise. Give me one more, just one, to honor him. He took a fight against the most dangerous striker in the division, Justin Gaethje. But he was carrying a secret that could have ended everything. October 2020, Abu Dhabi. Khabib walked to the Octagon alone. No father in the corner, no familiar voice. And physically, he was broken. 3 weeks before the fight, he'd shattered his foot, 2 toes fractured. He told no one, didn't pull out, didn't make excuses. He had a job to finish. The fight was violent. Gaethje hit him hard, but the Eagle kept moving forward like a ghost.
And again, that front kick of Nurmagomedov, the counter.
Gaethje lands a beautiful left. Khabib shoots a double leg, gets the corner, sets Gaethje down, ends up in the mount, went right to the submission.
Second round, he took him down, had the armbar, chose the triangle choke instead. Because Gaethje's parents were watching, he didn't want to break his arm in front of them. He put him to sleep. Mercy in the middle of war. 29-0. No smile. Just tears. The pressure, the grief, the pain, it all poured out on the canvas. He took off his gloves, placed them in the center of the cage. The symbol was clear. The king was leaving the throne. He kept his promise to his mother. He honored his father's plan. He conquered the world, undefeated, undisputed. In a sport drowning in noise, he proved silence hits the hardest. Money fades, belts collect dust. But legacy? Legacy doesn't die. This was the story of the Eagle. From zero to glory.